Hi guys, welcome back to Butte Mountain Homestead. In last week's video, I talked about planting some gladiolus in the blank spots out in the west side garden. And this is the variety. I just picked them up at Home Depot. It says annual, but they come back. So we'll see. We'll see if they don't. If they don't, they don't. But I'm going to go ahead and plant them. A lot of things that are annual for some areas end up being perennial for our area. We're in Zone 9 in Northern California. Some plant sources call us a 9B. I think Johnny Seeds calls us 9B, but anyways, it's hot and we don't get that cold. We have gotten into the 20s this winter, but not in the teens. And not in the low 20s either. So that kind of fits for Zone 9. So just straight old 9. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted, and I will show you again where I'm going to plant them. Okay, my husband is working on something in the background, so hopefully this isn't too loud. But yeah, there's some blank spots where tulips haven't been planted, or there's a weed. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the weeds. And I'm going to put these where the blank spots are. Actually, all that right there is where gladiolus are right now. So I'm going to do blank spots over here. And I think after the gladiolus bloom, I'm going to put little markers on where the tulips are now, because they're going to die back. So I'm going to put markers where the tulips are, and then I'm going to put markers where the gladiolus are. That way I know where the blank spaces truly are for this area. So I'm going to go ahead and get those planted probably right in this area, kind of in this little swoop right around here. So it'll be like right here. I might take out that rudbeckia, so I might do the black gladiolus right through here. So there's 15 of them, so I think that'll be a nice little cluster. So I'm going to go ahead and get those planted. And I'm going to go get my bulb tone because I forgot it. And then I'll show you when I get it in the ground. Okay, what I did was I went through, I pulled all the weeds, and then I counted out. I moved the mulch away from 15 spots. So that's going to basically go from here all the way through here. Because those are going to be big. And then those are going to get bigger also. And then this stuff is in the corner. So what I'm going to have to do is, in these areas where I just had emitters, is I'm going to have to extend that drip line over to here. And then put some spray valves. That way it gets all of this stuff. So, like I said, I'm not doing that right now. I might have to do it right now. I just don't know if I have any tubing up here, because I might as well do it while the stuff isn't grown. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you when I do one or two. It's basically the same as when I planted the daffodils and the tulips, but for somebody who hasn't watched that video, I will show you. And they go 4 to 6 inches down. Oops, sorry. They do say that was it this that wanted part shade? I think they wanted part shade. Well, they're not going to get it right now. And those gladiolus did just fine. Because this gets full sun. Full blistering hot sun with no shade. As soon as the photinia, which is those shrubs right there, once they get tall enough, because I'm going to let them go pretty tall, it might give some late shade, but not full blistering. And the forsythia, when it's taller, it'll give some shade too. And then who knows, I might plant something along here that can shade this business, because that's facing west. So alrighty, hopefully that didn't make you dizzy, but I'm just going to get after it. And this is what I'm using, is this Spoma's bulb tone. No, I'm not sponsored by them, I just really like their products. So that's what I'm using. Okay, what I ended up doing was, it's about 5-inch hole, and I'm taking all the hard clay out of there, and I went and got some of that dirt. I need to use it, so I might as well. There was one worm in there, so I'll put him back in there. So then what I'm going to do is sprinkle in a little bit of bulb tone and then place the bulb, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so this is the bottom, that's the root end, and then that's the top. It does look a little like you don't know which one's which, but I mean that end is kind of furry right there, and that one does look like roots. So I'm just going to place that right there, and I'm going to sprinkle, just put dirt on top. I'm going to find that worm. I don't know where he went. He's in here somewhere. So that way it gets rid of kind of the air pockets. Don't tamp it too hard. Sorry, my nose. The almond trees are in bloom around us, and I'm allergic to them. So, oop, there's the worm. There he is. Get over there, little guy. Get over there. There you go. Get in there and do your thing. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. It's the next day. My battery went dead waiting for me to refilm everything. But I ended up helping my husband with planting some porcupine grass. Kind of like the purple fountain grass, but it has green spikes on it with little marks that kind of resembles a porcupine. So today I took a planter away that was right there that had a climbing vine on it that didn't do very well, and I'm going to do the bay laurel in that pot because the bay laurel wants some shade, excuse me. It wants some shade. Sorry, I'm having a sneezing, but these allergies are kicking my rear end today. And I've been able to be outside all day. I just haven't really picked up the camera. I'll show you a few things I've done, but yeah, I don't want that bay laurel to get 60 feet tall and 20 feet wide, so I'm going to keep it in a pot, and then I will just replenish the soil in the pot every few years and, you know, do what I need to do. So one trick that you can do for your pots with big plants is you can put another size pot that's exactly the same in where it's going to go, and then fill the dirt in around it, and that kind of gives you a little template. Excuse me. Then you can just take the plant out of the pot, put it in there. I'm going to put some fertilizer in the bottom. That I had to borrow some mixed soil from somewhere else that's not being used right at the moment. I'll get more tomorrow, but today I wanted to get a lot done because it's supposed to start raining tonight again. So I wanted to get a lot of projects done, and I have. I got all the rose area cleaned up yesterday. Got all the roses fertilized. I got some, I got those gladiolus in. Let's see, today, let's see. I took out the lily that was there. I don't remember what kind it was, but I didn't care for it because the foliage made it look too tropical, and this is more of a cottage garden feel. So I put that peony there, and I was going to take the lantana out and put that other lilac there, and I still might. I just don't know where I want to put that lantana because, see, it wants to spread, so I have to have a spot that it can spread. And right now, because of what got sprayed a couple days ago, I have to wait before planting anything in those areas. So we'll see. There's growth. It's these purple leaves are starting to show up on the lantana there. So it's getting new growth. I am going to transplant some of my African daisies in there and get some mulch. And yeah, a lot of the things that I transplanted are, they're taking off. They're doing good. So I'm really excited about that. I might put some sunflower seeds in here. And yeah, the poppies. That's an African daisy. That made it. The poppies, the echinacea's coming back. There's tulips under here coming up. There's poppies. So yeah, I'm going to put a few things in here because that's all going to die back. And I don't want just one plant. Well, it'll be the poppy and the calendula. So I might want to put something kind of purpley in there, purpley or white, because those will both be orange. Let's see. And I honestly don't remember some of these things that I planted in here. Oh, I transplanted this right here because the ceanothus, which is in bloom right now, that thing is a monster. It's so heavy from the blooms that it's laid over, which is fine. I do think it's getting a haircut this year though, because that is probably almost 4 feet from the border. See where it starts over there? I mean, look how far out it is here. But one of these, which I'll have to go back on my records and look, it was hiding under there. So I pulled that out and transplanted it over there. I trimmed it back. There was new growth already restarting, so that's pretty cool. And then I noticed all the new growth on the blackberries. Look at those. That is awesome. So I might end up pulling those two also. We'll see, because I want that border pretty full for different seasonal interest, because then it's always pretty bare. But the hollyhock has taken, so that's exciting. And that was an African daisy, but it's not doing so well. I don't know if that gets very much sun. The tulips under there, tulips. Yeah, look, just lots of stuff coming up. So I'm really excited. And I'll get more in here, and that way, like I said, it'll have more. The calendula will go till fall. I might stick one of the sedums that I have in the bathroom windowsill starting. I might stick over here. Although that lilac, when it gets big enough, it's going to take up this corner. So I might just keep that mulched and kind of let it do what it's going to do until I know how that lilac's going to get big. It's going to go up against the shed, and it'll come out to about right here. So even though that's looking bare right now, that's okay. So I'm going to get back to the project at hand. Poor spider plant got froze. I'll just clip all that dead off and it'll bounce back. I'm going to add some more soil to that though, because that's too low. So I'm going to get after that and I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, I took that pot out, and now there's a perfect spot for me to take the plant out and just put it in the spot where it's going to go. So yeah, that's a neat little trick, because I've been there myself where you get frustrated where the dirt just keeps filling in, or it ends up being too high, and I don't want it too high. That's kind of like the mark I want it to be at, because I'm going to mulch this too, to be able to retain moisture. This is a water line. I did have water running to everything at one point, but it wasn't enough pressure for everything that I was watering, so I'm going to have to divert it and have 2 different systems running. I'll hook up like a splitter or something. But yep, ooh, there's worms in there. This came out of one of the raised beds in the garden. So, and please excuse my nose. I'm so sorry. I can only take one one Claritin a day, so it's just not working. So excuse the runny nose sound. See, it fit in there just right. And then you just kind of blend the edges there. And like I said, I'm going to mulch it. I'm going to pick off those yucky looking leaves. And that way it gets kind of some fresh start. I did put a little bit of plant tone in the bottom. And I'm going to give it a good water, even though it's going to rain tonight. So I probably won't. It's supposed to start raining here pretty soon. So I think I'm just going to leave it. But there's lots of new growth on there already. But yep, I'm going to just pick off these yucky leaves. See, I'm going to pick off those yucky leaves. Okay, so I'm going to get that emitter on the end there. I picked a bigger emitter. I was doing a ½ gallon an hour, but I don't water these things for an hour. So, cover up the little wormy. So I want it, when I do turn it on, I want it to get the amount of water it's supposed to. Anyway, so that's going to wrap up this project. Pretty exciting. And I'll show you if I do anything else fun. Hi guys, hopefully you can hear me okay. The wind's died down a little bit, but I am tackling this box today. So just getting all the bird netting off that I had on there for the blueberries. This blueberry here did die, and then this one survived. So I'm going to get it moved out over to where the rest of the blueberries are, because there was one that died over there too. And then I'll get this one out, and then I'm going to get this bed weeded. It's really not that bad. It's just big, huge weeds. And then I'm going to get it, I'm going to pull up the drip for now, because I'm going to reroute this drip that goes to this box. I'm going to actually reroute it out there, because I'm going to plant that red bud tree right there. So it'll water that. And then this box and that box will be watered by a hose that's hooked to a drip system. And my husband Gene is drilling holes so I can connect all these. And then as soon as I get the these little 1x2s off and the netting off, he's going to drill a hole right there. And I bought some raised bed mix yesterday, so I'm going to top the beds off, get them all amended, and then I'm going to do the green beans in here. I had bought mix to do the green beans in the grow bags, but since this is going to be available, I'll just do them here. And what I am going to do is I am going to cover this with netting. I'm going to save this netting, and I'm going to cover this bed with netting so that the darn little birds don't help themselves to the seedlings, which is what they always do. But I am going to get that mulch off of there for now and just use it somewhere else. And then I'll put down the new soil and the amendments and all that. But so I'm going to get after that. And of course, I'm almost out of battery, so hopefully I'm able to film a lot. So I will be back shortly. Okay, all the weeds are pulled. Bloomberries are pulled. I had to trim that one because there was a lot of dead branches on it. So now I'm just going to rake all this mulch up. I mean, get that blueberry planted up there, but I don't have enough battery to to do that, to show that. So I'll show you when I've got it planted. Plus that area is, like I said, so many weeds that went through the landscape fabric. It's very frustrating and was a lot of money to do that. So we'll have to come up with another plan for over there, or some better. I just don't want to buy what I think is the best and they still come through. So not sure. I might turn that into meadow grass over there, but I'm going to go put the phone on the charger, and hopefully I will show you in a little bit when it's all done and planted. Or I can at least show you it's planting green beans, but when it's all prepped and looks nice. Okay, that is all new raised garden mix. I use I think I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. The Kellogg raised bed and potty mix. I really like this one. It doesn't have big chunks of wood. I mean, there's some in there, but I'm planting bush beans, I guess the Hulk. They're by Gurney's. I just got a whole bag. So the directions say, I'll just read them. Plant seeds 1.5 inches deep, 3 to 4 inches apart, in rows 24 inches apart. Germination should take place in 6 to 14 days. Oh, and it says in early spring after danger of frost, which we don't have any. I mean, for the 10 days, we haven't had frost for a couple weeks. And then once they grow 4 to 6 inches tall, you thin them to where they're 6 inches apart. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do, I mean, this bed will be full, which is what the goal is. This is 9 feet, 9 by 3. So there's 3 feet, and then there's 6, and there's 3. So this was one of my first beds, and now that I can use it for vegetables is awesome, because the blueberries were kind of that's where they were. So I'm Kind of glad that one died, but not, because that one needs, that Biloxi blueberry needed one to pollinate. So I needed to move it regardless. Anywho, so I'm going to go ahead and get these planted. And I'm going to lay down my drip line because it goes down a center. And that way I know where to place them. I'll end up having to change those emitter anyways, because those are more per plant. I like using the fan ones now because then it gets a wider area. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down and get a piece put on it to get it through that hole right there. And then I'll just crimp it off at the end. Okay, I went and got my water drip kit. I just use one of these Stanley like toolbox or organizer, and then it holds all my different connectors, emitters, garbage, stakes, stoppers, different connectors, and then I try to stock up. If I'm running low on something, I just go ahead and stock up on everything. That way I don't run out, because of course if I run out of one thing, then I run out of something the next day. So if I usually go pick one thing up, I pick up either a package of all of it or whatever I need. So I do have one piece of drip available right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off what I need and attach it, and then feed it through there and put an elbow on it and then kink it off. Because like I said, it's going to come out right here, and it's going to go about right where my shadow is, because that's where I want the red bud tree. So that'll be plenty of room, and it'll kind of take up this corner too. And it should be far enough away for right now for the cows not to get it, because the cows can come up to the edge of this fence here. So yep, I'll just feed it out here, and then I'll just cap it off. Okay, now I'm going to go through and I'm going to take off all of these little, I think those are 1/2 gallon per hour emitters, because those are individual. I'm going to place my seeds, or where I want to place my seeds, and then I'm just going to fill in any of the holes that are left, and then that way I know the fan will get all of it. So I'm going to do that real quick, but I got it fed through there. There's quite a bit of tail, so when I'm done with this part, I'll come over here and kink that off, and then plug any holes and then kink that off, because I won't need any of that for over here. So getting a lot done today. I'm actually feeling this is pretty awesome. The wind kind of died down. I can get this project done and crossed off the list. Okay, I got the spray emitters put in about every 2.5 3 feet, and then when it comes time to water them, if I need to add, either increase the volume or add one, then I can. They're my fingers just don't work how they used to, so it becomes a little frustrating. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the seeds planted, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just do them every 6 inches apart now, and that way I don't have to worry about it later. That'll give me plenty. I mean, this is 9 feet, so I should be able to get quite a few in here, which is the goal. I am canning a lot of green beans this year. Hopefully. That's the goal anyways. Okay, and just like that, change of plans. I went ahead and placed them about over 12 inches apart, and it gave me 14 opportunities for a plant. And I put 2 seeds per hole. So if all 14 plants, if all of them germinate and do well, then pretty sure I'll be able to can some green beans. So there they are, 2 in each hole. I'm just going to go ahead and cover them up. I just leave them all uncovered, especially while I'm filming, so that I can remember how many I did. And then when they all come up, I will thin out the weakest one. no need to transplant these, because if all like I said, if all 14 plants germinate, I'm going to be swimming in green beans. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get these covered up. And then, oh, I am going to do, actually, I just realized I didn't do fertilizer. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to take all the beans out of the holes, put the fertilizer in, and put the beans in. And then I'm going to just do a light water in, only because we're supposed to get rain. Probably inch and a half over the next day and a half. So I'm going to just do it to get them watered in. But now I'm going to go ahead and take them out and fertilize and put them back. Oh, and I'm going to show you, I don't know if anyone remembers, but out by the blueberries there was a hollyhock that grew last year, and I dug it up. Look at the root on that. Look at that thing. So I am going to go plant that and these black, not very good lighting, holy smokes, there we go. These black, there's just 2 of them in there that I got from Home Depot the other day. So they say black, but they're blackish purple, but I'm going to go put them in the west side garden. Kind of give one of the corners some taller structure, even though, like, I'm not sure where I'm going to put them yet, but I will see when I get over there. Okay, that's where the one is I dug up from the garden. And, oops, there was one I transplanted the other day and it didn't do very good. So there's one that was out of the bag, and there's the other one out of the bag. So I put a rock by them so I would remember until they start greening up. And then, yeah, the gar is getting a lot of growth, so I think we're doing okay with that. We just didn't like being transplanted, but that's okay. But yeah, see, there's lots of new growth. That's a weed. I think this one's gonna take this hollyhock I transplanted. Yeah, there's new growth right there. And this one, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, and then there's one right here too. So in the, oh, yep, there's new growth. So, and the hollyhocks spread like crazy. So I think between the calendula, the African daisies, the iris is spreading, the gladiolus spreading, the rudbeckia spreading, I think we'll be pretty good. And then, like I said, this gar is going to take up this whole space. So I think the west garden will be pretty set. Look how pretty it's getting. All the calendula is blooming. All the tulips are coming up. Oh, look. One is getting ready to bloom. Oh, is there any more? Oh, yeah. Oh, and those are the Queen of Night ones, too. Nice. They're the, like, the black tulips. Nice. Oop, there's a couple weeds in there. I need to get those. But the honeybees are sure liking all that calendula in bloom. So, very nice. Looks like I need to deadhead some rudbeckia, but that'll have to wait. And the forsythia's got a lot of bloom on it this year. Very pretty. Oh, and the poppy's going to bloom here pretty soon. Right there. Very pretty. Let's get a closer look at these tulips over here. Oh, I sure hope they come back. If we have a cold enough winter, they should come back. If not, they won't. Well, it looks like there's a dead calendula in there, but it's going to be dwarfed here pretty soon. Yeah, the honeybees are sure liking all this business. And what I'm gathering, the African daisies are kind of like a biannual. Like we get 2 years and then they die off, but they send so many babies in return. As soon as these are spent, I think I'm going to cut this back. Just because there's so much new growth in there and we have plenty of time. A couple more weeds. Thought I got them all. Oh, and where the agapanthus survived. Oops. Right there. Agapanthus survived. So that'll get some purple in here too. I wanted some purple in here. As soon as the irises come up, those will be purple. And I think there's some purple tulips too. Anyways, and the holly, that hollyhock that I just planted, that one's a pink one, I do believe, right there. And I think the ones over here were pink also. So it'll be fine. And then that lily that I didn't care for in the cottage border over there, but I moved it over here. So I'm going to clean up my mess and go work on something else. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. So thank you for tuning in to another week, and I hope you come back for more. It's going to be more garden content as the garden evolves and stuff happens and stuff comes out. We're going to have garlic harvest, onion harvest. Let's see, onion harvest will be before garlic. But then we'll have, you know, tomato planting, pepper planting, the sweet peas growing, the potato harvest. All that's coming up in the next couple months. So it'll be a jam-packed, that's for sure. And then we're going to get started on the greenhouse. I'm not going to show too much of that because I kind of want it to be in surprises. So I might just show a before, during, and after video. I'm not sure because I like I like it all. So, but the roses that I transplanted in, they're doing really good. So yeah, everything's coming along. It's liking all the water we're getting. So I hope we get little bits of water throughout the year. But anyways, it's all coming along. Hi there, I'm back. My battery died as I predicted. So real quick, I am going to wrap this up, but I did get some ranunculus planted. I had to kind of be selective because of where everything else was going to grow. But look, I have a little tulip in bloom. Pretty. One there. Lewis. I got some stock planted in a planter. Get there too. And let's see what else. Oh, I'll take you out to the garden. I know it's just dirt, but you can at least see it all done on the green beans. Okay, there it is. It's covered up in bird netting right now, because that'll kind of deter them a little bit from eating seedlings that pop up. So I did not get that finished over there because I just kept moving on from one thing to the next, and I got a lot done today. But oh, I got my lawn mowed. I didn't get it edged, but I got it mowed, so progress. Anyways, you stay out of there. That's not for you. No sir. He smells the plant tone. It's like chocolate for dogs. I don't know, not chocolate, but get out of it. It's they're just addicted to whatever's in it. So all right guys, gorgeous sunset while we're standing here. Might as well show it. Just take a few minutes to enjoy that. Oh goodness, what good timing. And of course the screen doesn't do it justice. So anyways, I will see you guys next week. Remember to always be kind and do what makes you happy. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time.